Hi, I'm Brett Schilke, author of Adventures in Engineering. Today I'm here in the Quarto classroom to teach about engineering, and the topic of the day is exploring problems. So sometimes we think of engineers as people who only design things like machines or airplanes, but they actually work in all sorts of jobs, in technology companies, factories, governments, even in schools. Engineers work with tools, with people, with technology, and just with ideas. What all engineers have in common, though, is that engineers are problem solvers. Engineers learn about challenges and work to design solutions that make our future better. So the story in my book is about that future, the future we can all create. In the story, humans have left Earth. They're creating City X, the first settlement on a new planet deep in space. And creating a new city on a new planet is hard. The citizens are facing all sorts of problems, a lot like we face here on Earth. And the mayor of City X has created an elite intergalactic engineering force called the Irresistible Futures Agency. And it's their job to design a future that works for everyone in City X. And they want you to join. Let me read you the transmission from the mayor of City X. Dear citizens of Earth, we have arrived at our new homeworld and have set about creating our first settlement, City X. The journey to City X was a historic one, a journey across the galaxy, a journey that made humans an interplanetary species. Now that we are getting more comfortable here in City X, our people are excited to create a future that works for everyone. We have begun building some of the things we need, but we have many challenges to solve. These challenges are a lot like the problems we faced on Earth. But here in City X, we have the opportunity for a fresh start, to design our world in the best way possible from the very beginning. We are turning to you, the citizens of Earth, for help. I have just made a proclamation to create a new agency in City X, the Irresistible Futures Agency, made up of young people from around your planet who will be responsible for designing the future of humanity here in City X. We have the materials we need to produce new things, and we have the technology like 3D printers and powerful computing systems. But we need you. We need your visions, your ideas, your creativity, and your solutions to the problems we face. You'll find everything you need included in this transmission. You'll meet citizens from City X who are experiencing 7 different problems, and we will provide you with all the tools and knowledge you need to understand our challenges and become unstoppable engineers. I'll be with you throughout your journey to lend a hand when you need it. The future of City X and the future of humanity is in your hands. What is the future you would create for City X? Maybe we should start by thinking more about the problems they're facing. Problems come in all shapes and sizes. As an Irresistible Futures engineer, it's your job to understand the different kinds and what you can do about them. You probably experience problems in your daily life all the time. Take a minute to think about some. For me, I had a few problems today. First, I wanted to eat lunch and I didn't have any food in the house. And then just this afternoon, my phone battery died, so I couldn't text my friends. So this kind of problem, the kind that we all have all the time, is called a personal problem. And a personal problem isn't usually the kind that engineers set out to solve. They're the kind that are fixed really easily, like by going to the store to buy some bread or plugging your phone into the wall. But what about the bigger kinds of problems that we have? What about the ones that lots of people have to deal with all the time? For example, right now a lot of us are stuck at home because there's a virus spreading around the world. Or maybe the town you live in hasn't gotten a lot of rain this year, so there's a drought. These problems, the ones that are complex and affect a lot of people, these are called social problems. And it's social problems that engineers like to set out to fix. So think about the social problems you know about, while I share a little about the problems that are being faced in City X. So the mayor of City X has sent a briefing about 7 major social challenges that are being faced by the citizens. There are problems in transportation, environment, communication, food, health, energy, and safety. And they've shared perspectives from different citizens in City X on all 7 of these topics. The challenge for you is to create a solution for each type of problem, a solution that works for everyone in City X. To solve these problems, you'll need to follow a process. We call it the design process. The design process has 5 steps. The first step is explore. This is when we collect all of the facts and perspectives. The second step is synthesize. This is when we organize all of our knowledge and all the information we learned, and we decide on a goal. The third step is imagine. This is one of my favorites. This is when we come up with lots of creative ideas. Next is create, when we build something new. And finally, share, when we tell the world what we've made. So this process, the design process, is all about understanding a problem really well, and then building a solution that's thoughtful and effective at solving the problem. Today, let's practice the first step in the design process, explore. How do we start to learn about a problem and get to know different perspectives on it? First, let's pick a topic we can all experience no matter where we are right now. How about one of the challenges they're facing in City X, like energy? We all use energy all day, every day. If you're watching this video, you're using energy right now. The electricity that's powering the computer or the phone or the tablet you're using, and maybe even the lights that are on in your room. One of my favorite ways to explore a challenge is to immerse yourself in that challenge. And I think this one is going to be fun. What would it be like to live an entire day without energy? That's right, what if you just didn't have it? Now, you should get permission for this activity because you're going to do something a little silly. You're going to live an entire day without using energy. It's probably best to do this on a weekend or on a day when you don't have to go to school. But if you can't take a whole day, that's okay. Just take a couple of hours when you'll be able to do this activity well. And you'll want to plan ahead. Think about how you'll do some of the things you normally do if you can't use energy. Maybe talking to your friends, making food, or even just waking up in the morning. As you go about your day, you're going to keep a list in a notebook of all the ways you needed energy, but couldn't use it. Note what you needed energy for and what you were doing. Keep a list of all the times you used energy in a day. While you're doing this, see if you can find a different way to complete your tasks without using energy. If you do, make a note of that in your notebook too. You can make a chart like this in a notebook. At the end of the day, take a look at just how many times you needed to use energy. Reflect on what that was like. How did it feel? What new ideas did you get when you were thinking about how to complete tasks that usually would use energy? As you do this activity, you're practicing the first stage of the design process, explore. You're getting to know a problem and doing that by experiencing it directly. It's the first step to becoming an engineer and eventually a creator of solutions. Thanks for watching. You can purchase Adventures in Engineering wherever books are sold, and please share your project on social media by tagging me at Schilke and #Quarto Classroom. Thanks.